Hi everyone, the Water Magister here. Today we're going to be going over two things. The first thing is going to be reminders. The second thing is going to be letting go, and it's going to be a fire meditation. So we're going to be focusing on the element of fire. So I would recommend that you pause this video and get yourself a candle, and also get yourself a lighter. That's going to be in the second part of this video. So we're going to go into reminders. What are reminders? You want to start creating things in your life that remind you to be aware of your surroundings, that remind you where you're at with your story, where you're at with different things that come across your reality. Because since you create your reality, you tend to get lost in that story sometimes if you're not aware of it, and it begins to suck you in. Especially if you're in a relationship, you begin to develop that strong emotional bond to the other person, and then it begins to suck you into the story, and you forget to take that step back and remind yourself that, wait a second, I'm creating this for a reason. Let me not get sucked into it. Let me see how I can best react or best respond to it. Instead of reacting, we're responding to it. Reacting is an automatic response. Responding is when you take a moment and you take a step back and then you respond back to it. Apparently Zoe wants to be in this video. So that's what reminders are. There's many different ways that you can actually go into that, that you can remind yourself of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my laptop and my camera, and I'm going to go around in my apartment and show you the different things that I do to remind myself. So let's go ahead and take this. And one of the things that I'm going to show you is I put post-it notes all over my walls and in different places. And on the post-it notes, I write different phrases, different sayings to remind myself of where I'm at with my story. So I'm going to take you by each one of them and show you what you can potentially write on these things, on the post-it notes. Alright. So here, I'm not sure if you can read that. That says limitation or empowerment. So by placing it in spots that you can see when you walk around in your apartment, it'll catch your eye, and then whatever thought process that you're in when you're thinking about things, you'll look at it and then you'll question yourself, hang on a second. Is what I'm thinking about, is it empowering me or is it limiting me? Is it based out of fear or is it based out of love? And then we'll go over here. This one right here. This one says, I deserve to own my power. For my own personal story, I have a strong emotional attachment with giving my power away to things, giving my power away to people. So this is a reminder for myself that I deserve to own my power. I am worthy enough to own my power. Whoops. And then here, this one is label the emotion. When I see that one, I take a step back, and then whatever I'm thinking about, if I'm thinking about anything, I ask myself, what emotion is it? What is it that I'm feeling? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling depressed? Blissful? So that's another post-it note that you can do. Hang on, my mouse is being funny. Okay, so this one that says, I am always facing myself. I am always facing myself, meaning I am always confronting my emotions. I am never running away from my emotions, because when you run away from your emotions, you're just bottling it in. You're pretending like it's not valid. You're pretending that your emotions aren't true. And that's going down the road, you will start to express those emotions in a more destructive manner. So it's important to remind yourself that you're always facing yourself. This one right here is when I do my mirror meditations. This mirror, it says, how is this showing up for me? So how is it showing up for me? How is whatever I'm thinking about, how is that particular thing showing up for me in my reality? Is it showing, what is it showing me? What lesson am I gaining from it? What else do I have? I have one over here. This one, limitation or empowerment. It's another limitation or empowerment one. And sometimes I like to get my friends, so when they come into my apartment, I like to have them take the post-it notes and put them in different locations that I'm not aware of. So that way, whenever I see them, it catches my eye because I'm not used to seeing it there. Because after a while, it becomes a habit by it being in those spots. So then I have one over here. This one says love or fear. So again, it goes back to limitation or empowerment. And then the one that I have on my door when you first walk, or when I walk out to my door, I like seeing this because it reminds me when I walk out this door that I understand that everything is an illusion. So it says this. It says, I am breaking the code of disillusion. Zoe wants to be in it. What's going on? What's going on, Zoe? So it says, I am breaking the code of disillusion. I choose to see what is before me. So I choose to see what is in front of me at all times when I leave my apartment. So that's one of the ways that you can begin to remind yourself of how powerful you really are. And it's essential. It is absolutely essential to remind yourself of things, because if you don't keep reminding yourself of things, you're going to forget. You're going to forget, and you're going to get lost in the story all over again until something else reminds you of that. And there's many other ways that you can remind yourself. You can have a bracelet anytime that you use that bracelet, or every time that you have that bracelet in your vision. It reminds you to be aware, to be present. I have different things on my feet. I have a shungite bracelet, so anytime I feel that shungite bracelet, it also reminds me to be aware of my environment. I also have a different bracelet on my other foot. It's a scarab. That reminds me to be aware as well. Another good one is your posture. If you ever see me out and about, you'll notice that I keep a very upright posture. That's because when you're focused on your posture and you're upright and you have that proper alignment, it's putting you in the moment, because you have to be aware that you're in proper alignment. The people who are hunched over and they're like really relaxed and letting go, sometimes they might not be aware of their environment. They might not be aware that they can be self-aware. So for me, one of my reminders is I sit upright. I sit with a proper alignment in my spine. Another good thing for that is that when you sit proper, the energetic conduit that you have from the top of the crown, the energy that's flowing through, it flows in through your body a lot easier through the 7 chakra system that we have. And there's a lot more chakras, obviously. There's 12 main ones, but that's a different thing. What else? You can also use the sigils that I said in the previous video. So you can remind yourself with a symbol or a sigil. You can remind yourself with a phrase that you want to keep repeating in your mind. Like for me, sometimes I repeat the phrase, I am breaking the code of disillusion. I choose to see what is before me. I am breaking the code of disillusion. I choose to see what is before me. And I say that periodically throughout my day. And there's all these different ways that you can just remind yourself that you don't have to get lost in the story. You don't have to get lost in someone else's story. You don't have to react immediately from what that other person is doing, because they're not doing anything to you. They're just mirroring something outside of yourself so they can show you what is going on inside of yourself. So that's really important to understand. So we're going to go into the meditation. So I hope you have your candle, and if you don't, you can just watch the video anyways. But I'm going to bring the candle. I'm going to go ahead and move it back so you can see. Okay. So let's move it to the middle. Okay. So this meditation, this is going to be a meditation to let go of something. For me, a few days ago, I was experiencing the emotion of jealousy, and that stems from insecurity. And I know why. I know the scenario, why it came up. And it's important to address those emotions as they come up. That night, I went home and I did a meditation in front of the mirror where I looked at myself and I started speaking to myself, letting myself know that it's okay. I don't have to feel insecure. I don't have to be, I don't have to feel that way. But it's a valid feeling. But it's time to transmute that feeling. So this meditation, I want you to get a piece of paper, okay, and write down like 1 or 2 words to represent what it is that you want to let go of. Okay? For me, I'm going to just write down insecurity. I've experienced that story a lot, and I am done with it. And so in this meditation, the more energy that you give to let go, the more that it will begin to process and allow you to heal it and be okay with it. So I'm going to write down on my paper insecurity. This is what I wish to let go of. Okay? Insecurity. So now that you have your candle burning, you're going to want to place this piece of paper in your hand first. Okay? Close your eyes down. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale out. Deep inhale in. Exhale out. Last one, deep inhale. Exhale out. Breathing normally. I want you to begin thinking about every single moment and experience that you've had with the intention that you wrote down on the paper. Bring all those to the surface. Begin thinking about those. And as you are thinking about those, with each memory that you have, with each feeling of that particular emotion that you wish to let go of, that you want to move on from, because you've had enough of it, it's time to grow. It's time to learn new things in its place, put new habits in its place. Each emotion that you feel from those stories, begin envisioning them moving down the whole body through the hands into that piece of paper that you're cupping with your hands. So you're charging that piece of paper with all those emotions. You're charging that piece of paper with all the experiences that you've had with that particular feeling. So for me, I'm going to begin thinking about all the emotions, all the times that I've felt insecure about myself, all the times I felt jealous about anything. And just begin envisioning those one by one, seeing them move down the arms to the hands into the piece of paper. Begin now. Continuing to think of all the different experiences and times that that particular emotion came up. It's time to let go. It's time to put a new habit in its place. Thank that experience. Thank those emotions for showing you who you are. Thank those emotions for showing you what you get to work on. And talk to yourself right now, like how I'm going to. Thank you, Insecure David. I love you. I know at times it's been difficult within your life, but know that you are safe. It's time to move on. The story no longer serves you. I love you so much. And I know it's difficult to let go of this because of how comfortable it feels, because of how many times you've experienced it. It's okay. It's safe. Let go. I love you. Speak to yourself in that way, as if you're speaking to a child, comforting them, making them feel safe. Focus all of your awareness and attention on the hands, where the piece of paper is. You might begin to feel your hands begin to warm up, because there's a lot of energy that's flowing into that piece of paper. Allow it all to flow in, leaving room for love. Fire is a very transformational element. It allows you to transmute things from one thing to another. So take another deep inhale in. Exhale out. Opening the eyes slowly. Now that you've charged your piece of paper, begin to say your thanks to the fire. Begin to look at the flame. Begin to look on the outside of the flame, just a little bit past the actual shape of it, the outline of it. See if you can get lost in the flame, envisioning this flame as a living thing, because it is living, and it hears everything that you want. It hears what you want to do in this meditation. It understands what you want to do in this meditation, and it will be that catalyst for you. It will allow you to transform and transmute this energy into something else. Once you feel you have that connection in the heart to the flame, speak to it. I love you, fire. Thank you. See if you can feel those chills through the body running through when you say those phrases. When you feel those chills running through the body, that is a confirmation that the fire heard you. I'm going to give you this piece of paper filled with this energy that I wish for you to transmute. Please assist me in my growth and my spiritual practice. And I honor you. Thank you, fire. I love you. When you're ready, letting go of the palms of your hands, getting the piece of paper, and feeding it to the fire. This is the offering to the fire. Just watch it burn. Thank you. You may have to get something to take the paper out of it afterwards. Give me 1 second. I'm going to get I need a nose plier. Well, I'll do that after the video. But As you see that paper burning, know that this fire now is transmuting that energy for you. Know that going forward, you can now place something in that spot where you were experiencing that particular emotion. It's time to give love to yourself more. Replace that empty void that is free now with the love that you have for yourself. Thank you, fire. And that's going to conclude the video. The divine light within me honors and acknowledges the divine light within each of you. And understand, as you begin to grow, you shine your light for those outside of your sphere, or inside of your sphere of influence, so that they too can begin to shine their light for others. And I love you. And I honor you so much. I thank you so much for continuing this practice. I know it's difficult. I know those emotions that come up are very difficult to deal with sometimes. But that's why we're here. We're here to transmute those energies. We're here to transmute those emotions so that we can hold space for others to do the same. We are leading the way. Thank you. And namaste.